All right, Shalom. Call Haloyim, La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakak Wadash, the abundance of the apostles and elders of Great Millstone rule well, and who have taught us his knowledge. As a salutations to you, fellow laborers that are out there doing the work of truth and sincerity. Shalom to you. Shalom to the Akwaf that believe as well. I'm back at you with another lesson, and it's going to be short, and Lord willing, edifying as well. From CTV News, UN nuclear agency slams Iran for barring several inspectors from monitoring its program, which is the nuclear program. And this is a result of, former U.S. President Donald J. Trump, which he had backed out of the JCPOA, which is known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. And this is the nuclear deal, or Iranian nuclear deal, that was put together under this guy, Barack Obama. And what Trump did was he pulled away from the agreement. Okay. It says the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, commonly known as the Iran nuclear deal or Iran deal, is an agreement on the Iranian nuclear program reached in Vienna on July 14th, on the 14th of July, 2015, between Iran and the P5+1 together with the European Union. So this is what Donald J. Trump had withdrew from, all right, as far as the U.S. being involved, all right, or being in agreement, which the U.S. government has a real bad history of breaking its agreements. Okay, and I personally, along with my family, know it very well as far as the peace treaties, that they so-called peace treaties they made with Native Americans. Okay, it says in the article, it says the UN nuclear watchdog harshly criticized Iran on Saturday for effectively barring several of its most experienced inspectors from monitoring the country's disputed program. The strongly worded statement came amid long-standing tensions between Iran and the International Atomic Energy Agency. The IAEA is the abbreviation. If you see that, that's what it is. Okay, the International Atomic Energy Agency, which is tasked with monitoring a nuclear program that Western nations have long suspected aimed at eventually developing a nuclear weapon. Iran insists the program is peaceful, and they're only doing this because they don't want the Iranians, which are known as the Persians, okay, because that's who they originally were, the Persians. They don't want them to be on that playing field of having, or no, equal playing field, I should say, of having nuclear deterrence. Okay, this is history on Iran. It says Iran, also known as Persia, okay, and is officially as the Islamic Republic of Iran. Well, you had in 1935 where they was changed from being Persia to Iran, okay, and these are the people whom, when you go to the scriptures, okay, right here in the book of Daniel, the 8th chapter, when it speaks about the ram, okay, it says right here in Daniel 8:2, the ram, which will go on to be the Medes and Persians, all right, which is the second beast, okay, whom after you have the Neo-Babylonian Empire slash it was Neo-Babylonian slash Assyrian Empire. You had the Medes and Persians that came up, all right. This is spoken about right here in Daniel, the 8th chapter, the second verse. It says, "And I saw in the vision, and it came to pass when I saw that I was at Shushan in the palace, which is in the province of Elam. And I saw in a vision, and I was by the river Ulai. Then I lifted up mine eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which had two horns. And the two horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last," which, when you go into the history, okay, you had the Medes, okay, that came up, and then the higher of the two, which would be the Persians. Okay, and there's plenty of precepts. Okay, about the Persians. Okay, about Darius. You know, uh, Cyrus. Uh, you got Xerxes, all the Xerxes. All right, but y'all all mentioned, these names are mentioned in the Bible. Okay, this is the actual empire that stood, the Medo-Persian Empire, and you had to wear Israelites, particularly in the Southern Kingdom. All right, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, where they served captivity under them. Okay, and the Persians are mentioned in the book of Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther. You know, Esdras, because Ezra and Esdras is the same person. But they mention the Persians. Okay, but verse 20 here's the explanation of the ram, right? In Daniel's vision. Verse 20, it says, the ram which thou sawest having two horns are the kings of Media and Persia. Okay, so these are actual people that um, play a part of biblical prophecy. Okay, and they're still around. Okay, which again, the Persians today are the Iranians. Okay, it says Rafael Mariano Grassi, the head of the IAEA, said Iran had withdrawn the designation of several experienced agency inspectors, barring them from taking part in the monitoring of its program. Iran has effectively removed about 1/3 of the core group of the agency's most experienced inspectors designated for Iran, he said. Which is nothing wrong with them, doing this, because first and foremost, it was the U.S. that withdrew, all right, under Donald Trump. Donald J. Trump withdrew from the agreement. So why do they have to abide by any agreement? It makes no sense. But this is their narrative of how they want you to think that the Iranians are acting, um, basically like the Iranians are acting, you know, like some irrational um, nation or country, okay, and just trying to develop a nuclear weapon for evil, just to do evil in the world. Okay, when you have it where those Israelis, they have nuclear missiles. They actually got ICBM missiles in within the Israeli government. See, so why do the Israeli have nuclear weapons? Okay, and they're always constantly violating human rights. Okay, what they do to the Palestinians. Okay, look at how they fire missiles over into Syria and stuff, in different countries. But no one ever talks about that because it's not the narrative they want you to grasp onto. They want you to grasp onto their narrative of they're the good guys and everybody else is the bad guys. That's how the U.S. and NATO play it. Okay, it says Grassi went on to strongly condemn this disproportionate and unprecedented unilateral measure, saying it constitutes an unnecessary blow to an already strained relationship between the IAEA and Iran. Well, first of all, why not condemn America for withdrawing from the JCPOA? All right. Iran's foreign ministry linked the move to what is said was an attempt by the United States and the three European countries to misuse the body for their own political purposes, which is true. Okay. He appeared to by referring to Britain, France, and Germany, which said Thursday they would uh maintain, sanctions on Iran related to its nuclear and ballistic missile programs. Which, you know, you know, first and foremost, just show you that um, Esau it's not upright, okay, because you're the one that pulled away from the deal to begin with. So it's okay for Esau to pull away from the deal, but then you still got to abide, by your side of the deal, even though they're not abiding by their side of the deal. Makes no sense, okay? To anybody that have any common sense or any logic thinking or logical thinking, all right, it makes no sense, okay? It makes no sense whatsoever, okay? And the usual, players within, um, within the seven heads, which is mentioned in the Bible as well. Seven heads going to the beast, which is the Romans, okay, and we know that the Roman system was re-implemented through America, but the same three players that of the seven, okay, you got Britain, France, and Germany. They go back to the seven heads, okay. They the three of the seven, okay, which is the EU, all right, part of the EU, because again, when they mentioned the seven head and 10 horns, okay, we know that was the Roman power structure. See, but this deal, okay, this deal was a bad deal to begin with because of the sanctioning, okay, sanctioning of Iran's economy, which that affected the Iranian people, okay, more than anything. All right, it says he appeared to be referring to Britain, France, and Germany, which said Thursday they would maintain sanctions on Iran related to its nuclear and ballistic missile programs. Iran had previously warned about the consequences of such political abuses, including the attempt to politicize the atmosphere of the agency. Foreign Ministry spokesman Nasser Kanani said. So, you know, one of the things about the Iranians is, first and foremost, they are part of the BRICS nations, okay? And the head of the BRICS nations, you have Russia, which is known as GOG, okay? And one of the nations that would one of the nations that would be alongside with GOG is the Persians, okay? But before I get there, let me get this real quick in Isaiah the 13th chapter, because they're trying to pull the Persians back to the table, but they're not going to come back to the table. And that's written in the scriptures. I'm going to get that real quick. It says, right here, Isaiah 13 and 17, it says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it." Which is, the money, okay? You ain't going to be able to bribe them with it, because they're going to come against this place. And they have weapons, or they have missiles. All right, they have missile capability, and that's the reason why they haven't bombed over in Iran. Because they know that Iran can fight back. Okay, and they have fronting their missiles on the because each country have a military. Most countries have a military day parade, and Iran always flaunts its missiles to show their force of power, that they're on the world stage of having the nuclear, or being a nuclear power as well. Okay, and they don't like that. Okay, the U.S. and NATO and its allies don't like that. Okay, even on the NLT it says, "Look, I will stir up the Medes against Babylon, which is America. They cannot be tempted by silver or bribed with gold." Okay, so again, this is them. This is the Iranians not taking bribery. They're not being fooled, because the word bribe. Okay, the word bribery, when you look it up, let me see here. Let me see. Should not let's see. Should not regard. Bear me 1 second. I click on the wrong thing. Yeah, not la'ah. Not la is the Hebrew word la'ah. Regard. That word there for regard is chashab. Or was it hashab? It's chashab. Okay, chashab. And it says to think, plan, esteem. See, uh, make a judgment, imagine, count. Yeah, regard. All right, reckon. Okay, let me see it. See if I can get a Google definition for regard. Consider or think. All right, of someone or something in a specified way. All right, they're not gonna care about they're not gonna care about uh the monetary the monetary gains that could be involved with this. Okay, if they come back to the table and agree to the JCPOA, which they'll be the only ones at the JCPOA. They never really broke away from the JCPOA. That's the reason why you had the IAEA there to begin with. Okay, to monitor their nuclear program, so they only could produce a certain amount of uranium. Okay, this is bribe. It says bribe, persuade someone to act in one's favor, typically illegally or dishonestly. And we know that Esau deals in deceit. Okay, let me get that real quick. We know that Esau deals in deceit. Okay, let me see. It's a good one right here. It says Psalms 35:20, for they speak not peace, but they devise deceitful matters against them that are quiet in the land. Okay, and that's how Esau do. That's Esau's MO. Okay, he's always doing things deceitfully. Okay, this is another one. Psalms 43:1. Judge me, O power, and plead my cause against an ungodly nation. O deliver me from the deceitful and an unjust man. And we know that Esau is completely, uh, deceitful and unjust, man. Again, what it says in Habakkuk, behold, his soul which is lifted up in him. Slaki, let me get it. I'm butchering it. Slaki. Okay. Um, it says, behold, let me see. Habakkuk 2:4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Okay, which is talking about who? The wicked. All right. The wicked. Who is the wicked? The Edomites. All right, the house of Esau, Edom. Okay. And their wickedness is seen throughout the earth. That's why the Iranians will not regard gold and silver, the money, or any kind of, things that, you use to bribe people with, man. Okay. Psalms 55:23, it says, but thou, O Heavenly Father, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. It's talking about the wicked. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. Okay. Another one, Psalms 109:2. From the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are opened against me. They have spoken against me with a lying tongue. And that's how Esau do everything. It's always false pretenses that uh, he act off of when he go out to bomb these different countries. Okay. And so, people are awakening to Esau, being the devil he is. Okay. This is Ezekiel 38 in verse Ezekiel 38 in let's see, start here at verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog. It says, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. It says, and prophesy against him. All right, now we know that when you look up, the land of, Gog and Magog, okay, we always do it, but you can look it up on your own time. All right. You can just simply Google it, okay? And you know the images, okay? Which you see the land of Gog, Magog. See, Gog is Russia, okay? It shows you that. All right, who's the country that's gonna come up against America? All right, the country from the North country. All right, Jeremiah 50, Russia. All right, that's why who heads the BRICS nation? Russia. Who's always constantly into it with the U.S. Russia. All right, they're the biggest two superpowers in the world for a reason. All right. Um, Back in Ezekiel 38:3, it says, "And say, Thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. And I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords." It says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. See, we're just talking about what? Weaponry, okay, in their armies, okay. It says Persia, Ethiopia, which Persia again is who? The Iranians today. Let me see. Let's get rid of that. Again, who is the Persians? The Iranians. Okay. See, Iran, also known as what? Persia. They are the Persians. All right, 1935 is when their name changed again. So we know that according to prophecy, that they would come out with Gog, okay, and fight against Babylon. See, and this is the reason why they're not consenting to the IAEA. All right, they're getting rid of them out of their land because we're in a time of war. Okay, we're living in a time of war. All right, that's what's going on. Time of war. Okay. Ecclesiastes 3:1, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the sun. See, and when it mentions the different times, that'll come. Okay, and when it mentions war, all right, here you go, right here, a time, verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Now, when you see these militaries around the earth doing military drills, why do you think they're doing military drills? Because we're living in a time of war. We're the third woe, okay? The third woe is brewing, okay? It's constantly developing before our eyes, okay? Revelation 11:14, it says the second woe is past, which is referring to destruction or wars, okay? What you know them as World War I, World War II, and World War III. We're in the midst of it right now, developing, okay? It says the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, which is what? The third world's war. All right, the war of Armageddon, all right, which is Hamagad-1 in the Hebrew. All right, this is the time we're living in, the time that the Lord is gathering, all right, the countries in the valley of the country's armies in the valley of Jehoshaphat, okay? Right here in Joel 3rd chapter, okay? Um, Let me see here. This is Joel 3. Because this is why the armies of the earth is doing the military drills, okay? Joel 3:14. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Okay, which is what? The Middle East right there. Okay, is what you know as the Middle East, so-called Middle East. Okay, and you're gonna see things turn up. Okay, you're gonna see things turn up. Let me see. In fact, let's go up a little bit. Um, Joel 3:11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about, to the cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. All right, which ultimately is the angels. Okay, but continuing on, it says, verse 12, let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. The Lord is going to judge you heathen. Okay, and the word Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh Shaphat. See, Yahweh Shaphat. Okay, in the Hebrew, see, the root word is, it says Yahweh, and then the other word, which is Shaphat, that means judgment or decision. Okay, see, to judge. Okay, govern, vindicate, punish. The Lord is going to punish the heathen. All right, look at this right here. It says to act as lawgiver or judge or governor, to rule, govern, judge, to decide controversy. All right, to execute judgment. Okay, and this is what the Lord is going to do. He's going to execute judgment upon the heathen, man. All right, beginning with your armies, man. This is the reason why your armies are getting ready for war, because the Lord is going to judge them all in the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat, again. Okay, and we, like I said, expect the Persians to continue his program, and they're going to develop better weapons. All right, because we're in a time of war again. All right, so they're not going to be fooled by Esau's tactics. Okay, they know exactly who Esau is. See, Jake don't really take heed to who Esau really is, but over in the so-called Middle East, they call Esau the great Satan. Okay, Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. They know that. They want the Persians to put their guards down so they can come in and bomb it and destroy it. Just like they did to Iraq. See, Iraq ain't had the capability that Iran, the Iranians have, or the Persians. Okay, same thing, same people. And Esau don't like that. Okay, he wants it where he can just come in and obliterate you. And you can't fight back, but if you can fight back, then he try to use his media to demonize you. All right, these are all tactics of the wicked. Okay, how many times you heard that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction, and still this very day, Iraq is in turmoil, and they never found weapons of mass destruction. And you realize it was over all the oil, and when they came out, then there was no punishment, by the international court. There was no condemning, or there was no humanitarian outcry, during them times, right? So Iran is going to prevent that from, basically Iran is preventing, the same, destruction that came to Iraq. They preventing that from happening in the land of Iran, all right, or Persia. So, hey, I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Okay, never, you don't never, no one trusts Esau. All right, remember Esau is despised, man, and there's a good reason why he's despised. Okay, Obadiah 1:1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. And that's what the Persians are doing. They're preparing to battle against Edom. Okay. Verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. And throughout all the earth, especially in the so-called Middle East, Esau is despised. Okay. Again, he's called what? The great Satan. Okay. With good reason. The people of Satan, the Edomites. Okay. So, of course, if I was Iranians, I wouldn't, I would kick all of them out. I'll kick all them bastards out. But, again, you're going to see this intensify And so I'm gonna keep watching the oncoming days and weeks, months, what have you. And I want to say, Lord willing, this video have been edifying. And until next time, I want to say shalom. And on to the next shalom.